Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Jigokuraku episode number 10 reaction. Alright, the previous episode was one of the best episodes of this series, and yeah, it was like we had a big chunk of like an episode completely dedicated to like battle, like Gamimaru fighting I forgot the name. It was something like Zen, something I forgot. That Tencent, and yeah, it was amazing. You know, like the hand to hand everything, and how we saw Gabimaru going above and beyond his power, and just like and I actually got to realize how strong Gabimaru is, because up until now I really didn't have that much of a realization at what his power level is. Actually, going like head to head against a Tencent and actually like like depleting its HP bar up until the final HP bar in the end, like that was impressive. And yeah, I kind of have an idea now how strong he is. He's crazy. And even though he tried his best, he wasn't able to defeat him. Mei comes in and helps him out, and while Sagiri and everyone is trying to figure out where he is, trying to find him. Also, in the where May protected him and took him like in like a place like kind of rolled down, and we get to meet that guy, the guy who cut off his hand. He's over there. We also get a brief description of the Tencent. We get to see all of the Tencent in that episode, and a lot more information related to them. And yeah, so let us see what happens. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Alright, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, like noise might be coming out from the outside, I apologize for that. Like a little like festivals stuff is going on outside, so my what do you call it? Microphone is catching that, so yin and yang. Oh boy, here we go. Whoa, what's happening here? Damn, they actually did a mental battle. That's how strong these two are. Yeah. Hmm. Wow. Yep, he got you there. Yeah. You think you can take me up? Oh, wow. Yeah, this is again a mental battle, I'm guessing. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. All right. Wait, is she like unconscious or something? What the hell? Yeah? What is that sword? Um, yeah, they'll be able to catch up. Change the tactics. Yeah, he's going to ask for help. Yeah, he's going to ask for help. Help me defeat the 10 cents. Well, alright. Hmm. Well, yeah. He's a typical warrior, like, I want to fight. You're lowering your head? That's not okay. They didn't even know about the whole situation. Yeah, they're the only one who actually didn't run into them. Yeah? Yeah, that's why he's asking for help. Well, you see my state I'm in? Competition, I guess. He just wants to fight. He probably wants to fight strong. Oh boy, this isn't good. Wait. Oh. Ah. Okay, I see. Makes sense. Okay. Alright, we can help with that. Well, well, if you think about it, it's actually happening. We're watching an anime about him, so. Okay. Damn. Alright, we have a temporary alliance. What? Okay. Uh, Wait a minute. What the? Wait, she grew up. What happened? I didn't even realize that. Yeah? Oh, she can speak. Yeah. Like, I feel like she's one of the kids of the Tencent or something. No, she's not a kid. She's a grown adult now. Not adult, but teenager, I guess. Okay. What's happening? At first, she thought she was one of the kids or something, but she's not a kid. Oh, okay. I thought what? Wait, it's okay. Yeah, these terms. Exactly. I was just talking about how there's a lot of things from like Hinduism, like Sanskrit. Which step elements come from? Preceded by human religious values. Hmm. What? Ah. Wait. That guy? Creator. Okay. Hmm. 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 Formulating. Okay. Hmm. Oh. What? Oh. What? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Hmm. I see. To touch towers, touch the origin of the. So it's like energy or like like the like chakra or something like that. Yeah. They just show him. Oh, are they training? Yeah, I think so. Oh, damn. Quick and efficient. Oh, wow. Oh, she tried to attack him. Okay, okay. I thought they were training or something. Hmm. But then we have to do something about. No, there you go. Yeah, he even he even moved the like so that it gets to the sheath. Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of, I guess, concentration, experience training. Wait. Hmm. And that's how he feels. Okay. Yeah, I see. It's like a sixth sense because he lost his eyesight. Whoa. So is this something like Tao? He's also. Oh, interesting. Okay. Both of them, like everyone's like saying the same thing in a different way. Middle way, yeah. Want to exceed none. Ah. Oh, that's why Gabimaru. So Gabimaru already knows Tao. Like, interesting. So, okay, I'll talk about this later in the discussion section. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Um. Yeah. Okay. So, great. While saying that, he's attacking us. Hmm. That's how he sees in his mental landscape. I love how these monsters just conveniently come in this time so that he can give a demonstration. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yep, that's why. Yeah, you think? What do you think? It's that easy? Oh boy, what the? Um, what? Mudan. Hmm. Weekend is too deep for human to cover. But those two ran away. Oh, oh wow. I see. Wait, didn't they show that he already escaped? Or he's still trying? Okay. Damn. Oh, there you go. Now okay. Now we're seeing how he escaped. Okay. Nice. Yup, he's like, I want my revenge. Hmm. Oh god, here we go. He's like, oh, lower body. Ah, I see. Interesting. Good observation. Navel, there you go. I see. That also makes sense. Okay, I'm also impressed. He actually observed everything and came up with a proper. Yeah. What the? Hello? Nah. Okay, no. Yeah, that's a human. Ah! Um. Okay, we saw this thing. Wait, or is this a different one? Oh, it's a different one. Wait, I feel like he wants to talk. He even has the yin and the yang. Wait. Oh wait, so they. Oh, so that's the one. Doshi. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So why are you here? Like, didn't the Tencent tried to kill them? All right. Negotiations failed. Oh, he actually. Oh, well, you thought like a person who was able to come out of the hole. You thought that person would be. He did kind of. I love how he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take care of these two," and then he gets his hand ripped off. Okay. It's like I'm gonna take care of the big one. The master. Oh, well, you'll be making a mistake if you underestimate him. Okay. Muda. Okay. Yeah, I guess, but blind. Oh, interesting. So he can see the blind spot like that. That's a very like he reads the Tao and then he attacks. Oh god, they're gonna end it here. Oh, great. What were the cliffhangers? Okay, wait. So interesting. So Like I was so confused when he came and he was like, "Oh, the Tencent sent me," and I'm like, "What? What? Like the Tencent sent you to talk with them? Like they were the ones who tried to kill them." And then he's like, "Oh, I would advise you to go back to the hole," and I'm like, "Yeah, right. Okay." Good God. And I feel like I don't know exactly how strong this guy is. Um, this guy, the yellow haired guy, how strong he is, but I can guarantee, like, like with guarantee, 100% guarantee, I can tell that if this was Gabimaru in this situation and he wasn't injured, Gabimaru could have easily destroyed this guy because he was able to, like, take the Tencent towards that stage. So this guy probably would have been an easy target for Gabimaru. But like I said, I'm not really sure how strong this guy is. So maybe he'll surprise us as well. He'll show his strength and maybe we'll get surprised and we'll realize like, damn, he's also strong. I feel like that's what's going to happen because he, like, he's quite resilient. So yeah, I feel like we're going to see his power next episode. All right, that's it. Okay. Episode number 10, I think. Yeah, episode number 10 this was. So in this episode we begin with Gabimaru meeting this guy and the like like Asaemon, the one who's on, like, like in charge of him. And I love how at first they were like kind of sizing each other up and they were kind of showing like oh, like Gabimaru cutting off his hand and him attacking Gabimaru, like all of those are like happening in his head, I'm guessing. And like like this kind of a thing where if like good, like if strong warriors, they like look at each other, they try to gauge and try to see how it can go, and seeing the like how strong the other person is, they can kind of predict as to what might happen. That kind of thing, I'm guessing it happened here. Because they really didn't move, they were just standing there, but they were showing like this might happen if they start fighting each other. And I love how cocky this guy is. He's like, are you here to die or something, like, like. And like this is the thing, unless and until we get like a confirmation of any of the other characters' power level, I feel like we won't be able to actually gauge how strong Gabimaru is compared to these people. Like Gabimaru's strength we saw in the previous episode, it was immense. So unless and until we see these guys' power, we won't be able to properly make a comparison as to like like when in anime you see like different anime characters, like 5 or 6 of them, and especially in shonen animes, like it's like 5 or 6 anime characters who are in the ally, like who are allies, and you have like this basic understanding that, oh, this is the main character, he is this strong, this is the main side character, he or she is a little bit less stronger than him but still fairly strong, and then this is the supporting character who's very weak, kind of a little bit strong but they're not that much. You have this kind of a graph, a mental graph in your head, like, oh, in the power level, according to the power level, you know which character is which strong. I feel like we still don't have that here, except Gabimaru is like this strong, and we have to kind of and we also kind of know Sagiri's strength as well. Sagiri's strength, these two only, I feel like, and we got to see Shion's strength as well. So those characters, we kind of understand how strong they are and how powerful they might be. But the other characters who have been introduced, like unless and until I see this guy in action and the Asaemon in action, I won't be able to properly realize or understand whether he's stronger than Gabimaru or he's as similar strength to Gabimaru, or he's weaker than Gabimaru. But he does seem strong, so we'll see. Anyways, so after that, Asaemon comes in and he's like, stop, you guys don't have to eye each other like that. As soon as Gabimaru was like, oh, your hand, I can see something's going on over there. He was like, stop, no fighting, it is meaningless fighting together, we need more information here. And he's like he points his sword towards Gabimaru and he's like, give us information. So Gabimaru here is thinking as to what to do, how to defeat them, whether he'll be able to take them on or something. But then he's like, no, he remembers the the battle, and he's like, wait, I shouldn't do it like this. He's like, I'm not the hollow Gabimaru anymore. And he actually, like, like goes down and, like, like kind of lowers his head, and he's like, can you guys please help me out? I need your help to fight, like, like the enemy, and they're technically our common enemy. So you guys, like, like you guys, it'll be really nice if you guys can help us, and I'll also work together with you. So yeah, this guy, he kind of like, what is his name? They kind of mentioned his name in the first few episodes. I remember, I forgot that his name then. Anyways, he kind of, like, like used his sword to try to, like, like scare him off by trying to attack him and stopping at the, like, and, like, at the end. However, Gabimaru was not moving. So he's like, at first he's like, oh, like, I'm disappointed, like you're actually lowering your head. And I love how the, like, like Asaemon, he's like, oh, your way of thinking is so simplistic. Like, like this is, this is a favorable way of, like, like what kind, wait, what does he say? Just a minute. Your thinking is simplistic. I'd like to know why you're willing to do this. There you go. That. So he's like, yeah, I'm intrigued as to, like, you seem strong, but why are you doing this then? It must mean the enemy is very strong. And yeah, like this guy is typical, the typical, like, oh, I'm strong, like I want to fight everyone. Anything that moves, I want to fight, that type of character, and obviously he is going to look down on people who lower their heads, because that is the way they are, like typical, like, battle crazy people. So while Gabimaru wasn't like him, I would say, but Gabimaru was also kind of close to him, where he would always look at the situation in a way that, oh, can I defeat this thing? Can I beat them? And Gabimaru probably was also like him, who never really lowered his head. But after, like going through so many things, and after learning so much from his wife, from Sagiri, and, like, and everyone else beside him, and realizing who he is and what he should strive to be, and what the important thing here is. It's not that, like, the important thing here is not defeating the Tencent. The important thing for him, at least, is to get back to his wife. So after realizing all of that, after properly figuring out what his goal is, he has decided this is the best way. And yeah, it is a fairly like good decision that he took. And in the end, he ends up saying everything to them, and they're like, what the hell, like these Tencent, we've never seen them before. And funny, like, like now that they mention it, yeah, they actually are the only ones, I think, who hasn't actually come across any Tencent. So everyone else are either dead, or they already fought against the Tencent. Like Shion and his group fought. These two, the two brothers, they're also fighting, and we also fought. I guess Sagiri and Yuzuriha, they still didn't come across the Tencent. Yeah, but Gabimaru did. So yeah, like these two and Sagiri's group are the only ones who hasn't come across a proper Tencent and fought. So they're like, yeah, what are they? Like, who are they? Like, they regenerate? What the hell? And it seems like the big guy, he's like getting quite excited listening to this, and he's like, oh, finally a good fight, these Tencent, I'm gonna fight them. And yeah, so okay, they're like, but what proof is it that what you're saying is true or not? And he's like, I don't care, like you know what? Whatever you're saying, if that's true, I'm excited to meet them. And he's very happy now. He's like, oh, I'm going to fight these Tencents. And he says, the Asaemon says, like, isn't he our competition? Like, why are you getting happy about this? And he's like, it's fine. I'm not really interested in the pardon. Okay, so he's like, so Asaemon's like, so what do you want? What is the end goal? And he's like, I want to be immortal. Now, obviously, if he actually wanted to be immortal, like physically immortal, then this would have become a problem, because yeah, like Gabimaru also needs the elixir to go back, so they'll actually would have like a squabble between them. However, he's like, no, I don't want any of those, like any of the elixir, not that physical type of immortality. I want to be immortal like everyone, I want everyone to talk about me, and I want to be immortalized like that. Like people will talk about me, say my stories, like that type of thing. And to do that, I need to do perform some crazy feats. And yeah, I guess defeating a Tencent is better as any, like it's a plenty enough crazy feat that if you are able to defeat the Tencent, it's very crazy, isn't it? So he's like, I'm very excited. Like my name will be immortalized like that, and he's just, yeah, it's like this appearance and these words will survive as pictures and words in the distant future. So basically, he wants to be, I guess you could say, immortalized, and he wants like his stories to be like told even in the future generations, books written about him, like pictures of him, these type of things. Like that's what he wants. You know what? A fairly respectable goal, I can say. And it doesn't really interfere with any of our own things, so it's fine. Like he doesn't want the elixir, and like, so there you go. It's perfect. Like I feel like this is very good. Okay, so while the Asaemon, he's like, I'm not really interested in your goals, but at the same time, I do want to meet these Tencent. I want to kind of like I want to experiment on them. I want to, like he's that type of a character. So yeah, so there you go. Again, his goal is also something that is not going to interfere with our goal. Like any character whose goal doesn't interfere with Gabimaru's goal, it's fine. Like, but characters whose goals will interfere with Gabimaru's goal, will have to deal with them, or will have to at least come to an understanding in the future. For example, Yuzuriha. Yuzuriha's situation, we still don't know what her plan is, but she also wants the elixir. So yeah, we might have to come to an understanding or something else against Yuzuriha to, like go ahead. Sagiri, I guess Sagiri also wants the best for Gabimaru and wants to look over him and take them back. So yeah, Sagiri is not a problem because she's literally guarding them. So none of the Asaimons are a problem, I guess. No, the Asaimons are also a problem. Only Sagiri is not a problem because Sagiri is the Asaimon who is being, who has the responsibility for Gabimaru. So whatever, if Gabimaru gets the elixir, she won't have a problem with it. But the other assignments might have a problem with it, like if Gabimaru gets the elixir, Senta will probably have a problem with it because Yuzuri has supposed to, he is supposed to, be, what do you call it, he's supposed to be looking over Yuzuriha. So Yuzuriha would have a problem with Gabimaru if Gabimaru gets the elixir, automatically making Senta also, going against us. So it's something like that, I guess. So the people who will have problem with us if we get the elixir, probably Uziha, Senta. Who else? Not really sure about. Oh, those two, the two brothers as well, because I remember them saying something like, "Oh, like I want to consume the elixir." That'll also be a problem. Who else? These two are not a problem. They have completely different goals, so I don't think they care. So, and then Shion and Nurugai. I don't think Shion and Nurugai will also have any problem with Gabimaru because at this point, I feel like all Shion wants to do is just leave here alive alongside Nurugai, while Nurugai wants to take revenge. So they also won't have any problem with Gabimaru's goal, that is getting the elixir. So yeah, there you go. That's the whole situation for now, at least. Okay, anyways, now Mei wakes up. They make a temporary alliance. Mei wakes up, and here we realize Mei has actually kind of grown up. Like, I wouldn't call her an adult, but she's at least a teenager. So she's like grown up. She's like, and Gabimaru's like, what the hell? What happened? And now she can also talk. She's like, she calls Gabimaru's name, and Gabimaru's like, oh, now that you can talk to me, can you like who are you? Tell me, how can we defeat the Tencent? And it's like grabbed her and like shaking her, and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And he thanks her for helping him out, and then he's like, can you please tell us what we can do in this situation, if we have any ways of defeating them. Okay, so here Senta kind of suddenly comes to realization. Senta asks Hoko that you said the Tencent are gods who screen people's soul in the Horai, correct? And he's like, it's impossible because this is clearly a man-made religion because of the different, cultures, the different religions, references here are from different religions, like not one religion. It's just it's possible. It's not simply not possible for this place to be the real Shinsenkyo. It's clearly a man-made religious system. Okay, the terms Horai, Eishu, and the Tensen's name all originally terms used by different religions, which is true. Like I said in the previous episode, I kind of mentioned how there's a lot of, I guess you could say, I'm guessing it's Sanskrit, like a lot of like words from Hinduism as well, like Vajra, like what else? There's a few others I can't actually remember, but there's a few of the, like like sentences which were, I'm guessing, Sanskrit, like, and like from Hinduism, something like that. And obviously a lot of Buddhist, like like names as well. I'm guessing a few other religions as well, which I don't know. So he's saying like it's like a mixture. Like what's going on? Like this is like a man-made system. Someone made this. Okay, so you just like, so who cares if there's small mixed up? And he's like, that is a problem. All the mixed up elements come from culturally specific interpretations, which means they were preceded by human religious views. Elements are combined crudely. Specific eras and cultures are combined in a superficial way. So he's like, it's like a haphazard ways, like like arranged or mixed. And he says, I recognize this type of distortion. He says it's Moromakia. He was the founder of a new religion plotting to overthrow the shogunate. So this guy, the guy who Yuzuru had killed, the religion he founded was like this place. Interesting. There was a certain distortion created by his patchwork of various religions. That's why I previously felt this place was defective. It's not just the faith, but the monsters and configurations of the island as well. Yeah, the monsters are literally like a mixture of so many different, I guess you could say, religion, like Buddhist, like other religions as well. Like the different characters. Like there's like a lot of, I guess you could say, Japanese, like like kind of like like monsters. Those what did they call them? So I forgot that what they called them. But like a lot of like cultures mixed at the same, like like monster, that kind of thing. So this island mostly has a creator. It's not a theory. It's a theory, but it is not that no one returns from this place. From the start, the intention was that only humans who were transformed into flowers would return. If someone's deliberate intention is behind this, then it could also be the clue to understanding this place. We should be able to find both the elixir and way to escape. So there you go. And he then realizes that he's been like talking, and he's like, oh sorry, like and like it's like, oh, it's good, like this is, you're better at this than actually keeping an eye on Kabimaru. And he's like oh god. Anyways, you see, it's like, so listening to all of this, are we even capable of beating something crazy as that? Alright, so she talks about Gabimaro, whether she's alive or not, but Sagiri's like, no, he's alive. He wants to go back to his wife, so I'm sure he's alive. He's probably making a plan at this point. Okay. Now, again, we switch to Gabimaro. Gabimaro asking May about any type of solution, if she has. And, okay. So, she says that Tao, I think that's what she says. Let me check. Okay. Tao, yeah. And he's like, Tao, what is that? Okay, so there's a few things that she says that neither they understood nor I. Like, obviously she's saying it in a broken way. However, it still doesn't make sense. She says Tao, strong, weak, mind, body, strong, weak. Tanden, turn, strong, weak. Okay, I have no clue. It's like Tanden, they kind of explain, it's like below the navel. So okay, so yeah, this guy, he says like, oh, Tanden means like navel or below the navel. It's where they call the meridian in Chinese medicine. Again, like as I say, like belly button is like the point of power. A lot of like like people say that, like as they call it like the what do they call, like, they like call, like, it's like the convergence of all the power, like, the belly button, that type of thing. So like they kind of explain little by little, like Hoko also explains here. Like, I love how they did this part. It's like everyone's like in their own way explaining what Tao is. Like, everyone has their own explanation as to what it is, but at the end of the day it's the same thing, you know like he says, like, Tao is the power that flows through all things. Okay, and Sagi's like, the Tencent can control that. Yes, everything in this world is created by the flow of Tao. To touch Tao is to touch the origin of the universe. Okay, so rooted in a specific belief. Can you describe it in a way we can understand? I love how usually it has like, isn't there a hot teacher who's good at explaining things around here? I will switch to Shion. Okay, so we see Nurugai attacking Shion, and at first I thought they were training, but then I realized like Shion doesn't want her to go and fight, because they did promise each other that, oh, we'll take care of the Tensen and get revenge. But now he's changing his mind, because he's like, no, I don't want her to die, you know. So like, Shion just moves, and without even looking at her, just does this, like, like the sword goes up, and he even moves her so that it goes inside the sheath. Nurgai's like, didn't we promise that, we're going to take our revenge? But he's like, no, like it'll take time to, like, for your skills to improve. In no way can you fight like this. He's like, I'll avenge him, but I'm not going to wait for you. But she's like, no, like, master, teach me, I want to fight. And she says that I just don't want to be like this, like everything like taking away in front of my eyes and me being unable to do anything in that situation. I want to change that. And she's crying, and she's like, please, like, like, teach me. And he says that, okay, you know what, I'm going to tell you something, like, like the feeling that I feel while fighting, like, it is not something that can be taught overnight. And he says everything in this world produces a unique way. And like I said, like, everyone has their own way of explaining what this Tao is. For him, this is Tao. Like this thing that he says, that everything in this world produces a unique wave. Just like how Hoko said that everything in this world has like an energy in them, which is called Tao. So obviously, like, he interprets it in this way. And he says that there are waves flowing around our bodies. I can sense those. So basically, he can sense the Tao. Because of that, I know your height, weight, and your hair is tied up. Okay, so using the waves improves not only one's senses, but their physical capabilities as well. Okay, now here Hoko says, mastering the use of Tao grants one godlike strength and body. You must order your thoughts in order to sense them, neither too fierce nor too quiet. And here we switch to Mei again, and Mei is like, Tao, mind, strong, weak. Stillness, and Hoko again, stillness and motion, yin and yang, the cycle that flow is the key to drawing out the power of Tao. It's so interesting because I remember, like, this thing again brought up before as well. You remember that episode where Sagiri showed her strength, and there was that guy, what was his name, who died, who told Sagiri to go back, but then he, like, in the end his stomach got, like, taken out, and like, he died. That guy, you remember he said something like, Sagiri, you have both the fierce, the strength, the courage of, like, like of a warrior, but at the same time you also have the calmness and the kindness, the compassion of a mother. So, like, that is your way. You should embrace both of them. Both of them are you. I've never seen someone like you before. Like, remember that episode where this whole thing is brought up, where he tells Sagiri to go through, like, to accept both of them. Both of them are her. That is literally what we are talking about now. This yin and yang, this Tao, like that Hoko is talking about. That this motion and stillness, the yin and the yang. We have to accept it, and that cycle, that wave, is the one which is going to unleash your power. And like here we go. Shion also says between rage and calmness, or else both simultaneously, you must achieve that state of mind. Now, this is kind of interesting because it's a little bit difficult to kind of imagine. Like, it's kind of difficult to imagine how can someone be still and moving at the same time. Like, that's what he's saying. Rage and calmness, between rage and calmness, or else both simultaneously, you must achieve that state of mind. So yeah, literally what that guy told Sagiri, that you have to accept both of you, like both of the things that are within you, the fierce, the strength, the like the ferociousness, and the compassion, the kindness, and the motherly nature that you have. Both of them, both are you. That is literally what we are talking about here. Okay, so this will make it easier to detect the waves. In Buddhism, it is called as the middle way. Like obviously, like if you guys know, like Lord Buddha always spoke about going through the middle way. He never really said to indulge in a lot of like a lot of luxury. Nor did he say that in go through like very tough time. He always said like go through the middle, the middle way. That was what Lord Buddha taught. So that is literally what he's saying, like the middle, like we have to accept everything, not too much of this, not too much of that. Like it's like in the flow, we have to be in the middle, something like that, I guess. I don't know, this is how I interpret it, at least. That state of mind allows one to exceed their normal capabilities. Okay, Hoko says, for example, it allows people to withstand greater strength than their own, or survive what should be fatal injuries. This line shows us that Gabimaru has something like it's kind of does have Tao within him. He doesn't know what it is, but he has been able to tap into it, I guess. Now this is the thing. You remember that episode, the previous episode where Gabimaru fought and his leg was glowing? I think that is Tao, isn't it? So he knows what Tao, and remember how he was able to actually deal damage to the Tensen, who she started bleeding from her mouth. And she was like, oh, so you, kind of ambiguously, she kind of mentioned, probably kind of told us that, oh, he knows what to do, he has the Tao. I'm guessing that's what it was. So Gabimaru kind of knows, and it also makes sense why Gabimaru doesn't die. And he's so resilient, he's so strong. That is why. He, in his own way, he doesn't know what Tao is, but he has been able to tap into it. Also, Shion also almost knows how to use Tao, the whole wave thing that he sees. That is also Tao, I'm guessing. So everyone in their own way can kind of use Tao in their way. They just don't know about it, and they don't know how to utilize it, I guess. Even Sagiri probably can use Tao, because like I said, that guy told Sagiri that you have both the ferociousness and the kindness. Accept both of them, and that is literally what Tao is. So there you go. Okay, so Shion is like, you cannot really get this quickly. In the first place, there's much I don't know. Okay, so he then starts teaching Nurugai how to grab a sword, and is teaching her what to do. Okay, now some monsters come in. I love how this monster is needless killing is bad, and then tries to kill him. Or maybe, who knows, maybe he was going for a hug or something. I don't know. We just assumed he tried to kill, and he was trying to kill us. Maybe he was just going to do a handshake. Who knows? But anyways, we killed Shion just attacked it, and Shion is like, oh, this is how you do it. And you can see how Shion sees them. It's like a white light. That's in his mental landscape. That's how he sees them. That's how he sees the waves. And he's showing them how to fight. And he's like, I'm just going to fight. I cannot really teach you. You have to learn, by looking at me and emulating me. If you can do that, then yeah, you're free to do whatever you can. Now, in the other place, Gabimaru's, part, some other monsters have started coming. So this guy, the big guy, he's like, all right, I'm going to take care of them. One slash and just takes care of them all. And he just grabs May, puts him on his shoulder, and he's like, "Now teach me what this Tao is, miss." Okay, then we see in the back this one guy like with a like a hat or something. Okay. So next we get to see the two Tensen again. Like this is another Tensen. I don't know his name. Okay, so he's like, okay, they're talking about the humans that are inside the pit, and he says like, don't kill the humans you throw in the pit. What if they try to get out? And he's like, once they're weakened, it's too deep for the humans to climb out. Also, he says the walls will block their escape. They'll try to like drag him down, the other humans who have been absorbed. And we see like like literally while he's saying this, these two, the two brothers, they're actually coming out. Like crushing the people who are trying to grab onto him. And he gets up and he's like, Toma, will be defeating these Tensen. And Toma's like, but we should leave, and he's like, no, I'm going to be defeating them. And we see that he actually talks about a few things that he has observed, which is kind of impressive in that situation. He was able to properly observe, and a few really good observations he has made. First of all, he says that if we get the lower part of the body, we might be able to actually defeat them, because it seemed like the regeneration is happening from the lower part. So it's either the groin or the navel. He's on the point, because we just literally talked about the whole below the navel thing, where the power originates, that type of thing. So he's correct. He's very correct. And then he says that it was also like a plant, so it makes sense the weakness is the bottom half with roots and not its top. Again, another good observation. And Thomas like, Sasuga Oni-sama. And he's like, what? And he's like, okay. So he gives the hand to him and Toma, and he's like, oh, eat it. You need to at least keep yourself alive. But then comes this guy. Yeah, this dude. He's like, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but don't be afraid, I'm here to talk, And at first I thought like, oh, maybe he's going to be our ally or something. Oh, turns out no, he has come from the Tensen. And like I actually thought he had like he was actually here for like some kind of what do you call them? Some kind of a proposition? Because that's what it looked like. He was like, oh, I'm here to talk, stop. But his proposition is that, can I just go back into the hole and then die? Because, I feel like it's actually the Tensen won't like that. They actually ordered me to keep an eye on you. That's literally what he says. He comes with this proposition that, oh, you should go and die. That is his proposition. I'm like, wow, all right. As if we'll be like, yeah, you know what? Sure. Well, let me just go back inside the hole, Oh boy. Okay, so the other, that one we saw in front of Gabimaru, that guy, that is also one of them who has come to check whether they're alive or not. Okay, wait a minute. What do they call themselves? Just a minute. Okay. So, he calls himself Doshi, and they're like, wait, the monster they mentioned is Soshin. And he's like, oh, don't confuse us with them. Those are scum, those Soshin, they lack intellect, they're defective, they're incomplete. The scum not permitted to enter Horai. However, we are the Doshis and we serve the Tensen directly. We are the right hand. So don't compare them to us. And he's like, we take care of small little tasks for them, troublesome tasks. That is our responsibilities. And then he's like, can you please go to the hole, become done, please, because that's what we have been sent here for. And he just goes and attacks him. And at first it seemed like he's like underestimating him. Then he realizes that he shouldn't be underestimated, because he just grabs his hand and just tears it off. And he's like, oh, okay, you're stronger than you look, like that type of thing. And he's like, very well, I'm going to show you show you, like, my power. And you see how when his hand was regenerating, he kind of looked at that. He was probably trying to figure out how the regeneration works, I'm guessing. Like, looking at him, typically you kind of think that he's like one of those crazy, like, like crazy characters who just wants to fight and doesn't really look at anything. But he's very observant, he's very observant. Even though he's like this, he kind of observes stuff and comes up with proper strategies. And then the Soshins come in and they're like, he's like, oh, like we're going to take care of you. And the brother, he's like, Toma, take care of the small ones, like, the small fries. And he's like, all right. Immediately goes and just cuts them off. And then, like, he starts fighting the Doshi. And the battle begins, and, like, he's protecting himself, defending himself, and he's like reading him. So here, while reading him, there's an interesting thing that happens. Like, you can see how he's also looking at them, this white light, the way he's like, detecting the Tao, just like Shion does. And he says, like, attacks weak in Tao are not ineffective. No, wait, not this part. Okay, attacks from one who cannot use Tao are trivial. He has predisposition for it, but that is all. Attacks weak and Tao aren't merely effective, I can regenerate them instantly. And there you go, this makes sense why Gabnur was able to injure that, like, the Tencent, because he probably used Tao there unconsciously because his leg was glowing. He started bleeding, so he could not recover that quickly. Okay, so he's astounding, but the disturbance in his Tao reflects a blind spot in his awareness, and you can see that he's literally seeing this part of him. The Tao is kind of like, like shaky, and he realizes that part is a weak part. If any other part he attacks, he'll probably dodge or parry, but that part is like this is like a cheat code. Like, you can literally see where it's the blind spot and where you can attack, and they won't be able to defend. So he attacks there, and he actually gets him. He falls down and starts bleeding, and Toma, like, is concerned. Now, next episode, we'll see what happens. But either way, this episode actually gave us a good explanation as to what is going on, what is the origin of power in this, like Tao. And like I said, Tao is literally like the thing that everybody knows, but in a different way they know it. Like, Shion knows it in this wave format. Garmin also probably knows it, but never really, like, like properly knows it. Like, he knows what it is, he uses it, but he doesn't know what it is. He unconsciously uses it. And Sagiri is also kind of, I'm guessing, like will be using Tao as well, because, like, that guy told Sagiri to, like, embrace her fierceness and her like, calmness and, like, motherly nature. So yeah, that in itself is Tao, so I guess. And also, like, different ways different people look at this Tao. And like, it's kind of like, like how in different animes we have different explanation for this, the life source or whatever, like this energy thing. Like in Naruto it's chakra, in like what else, in Dragon Ball Z, I've not seen Dragon Ball Z, but I think in Dragon Ball Z it's called chi, or is it something like that? I think I'm not really sure. In Hunter x Hunter it's nen, I think. And what else, like, like different way they explain this whole life energy thing, that is literally Tao. And like, at the end of the day, it's one thing, but people have different interpretations of it. So there you go. And that is it, guys. That is my reaction to episode number 10 of Jigokuraku. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Jigokuraku. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.